And that is played defensively. There is no run. And that's really nicely played. And that's 4 runs. Eva Gray in once again. Oh, that's a better delivery. The ball runs out onto the leg side where they trot through off the pads for a leg bite. Haven't been too many extras so far. Amy Campbell waits for the changes in the field. And there's a big shout for LB, but the ball barely bounced. Certainly Amy Campbell felt the ball was there to be pulled, but kept a little bit lower than she was expecting. And that's good use of the feet. Out and drives over the top of extra cover for a couple. Doesn't fully middle it. Certainly the bowler thought the fielder might have been in with a chance. She wasn't, but certainly that would have kept the bowler interested. And that's a really good ball. Has to be dug out eventually by Amy Campbell. End of the over. 7 runs from it. 47 for 3. The end of the 7th over. You feel the Sparks need Amy Jones to stay there for a bit. Sunrisers, boy, would they love to get rid of her before too much longer. It will be the skipper Kelly Castle, understandably, to continue after her excellent first over. We still haven't seen Abtahar Maqsood yet as they go through for Bury single. Good fielding from Joe Gardner, keeps them just down to the 1. Kelly Castle just moving fielders around. Grace Scriven has to put in the yards as she goes off to long on. And that is launched just over the left hand of Maqsood. Scriven does well to cut it off and keep them down to 2. But that was so close to the fielder. But on this occasion, Amy Jones gets away with it. Sorry, Amy Campbell. Wrong Amy. Amy Campbell gets away with it. Castle again. Amy Campbell this time. It's a lovely shot. She placed it perfectly to the right of Maqsood, who won't be able to chase that down. Excellent shot for 4. The vast majority of the runs in this innings have come up via the boundary. 54 runs now. That's another absolutely cracking shot. They get 1. They come back for a second. It's well fielded in the deep. Scriven, who was put there specifically for that shot. Seeing how she likes to hit the ball straight, Amy Campbell. There is now long on and long off. Long off comes up Maqsood, but not before they trot through for a single. Ten from this over, 1 ball remaining. Castle a little shorter in length. That's punched away to long on. They think about a second. Scriven was in very quickly indeed. Ensures keep them to a single. There's still 11 runs off the over. After 8 overs, the score now is 57 for 3. 11 to Amy Campbell. Amy Jones has 22.
Returning at the Hayes close end, Maddie Villiers.
So Maddie Villiers comes back on. A 1 over so far costs 9, and that is punched up to long off, and they go through long on, and they go through for a single. Still the scoreboard keeps ticking around. And that is played very defensively back to Maddie Villiers, nicely bowled. Oh, and that's well bowled. And every time a partnership looks as if it might be establishing itself, the Sunrisers managed to break it, and they've done it again. And that's the end of a brief but good innings. Well, a brief but 1 or 2 exciting shots innings anyway. looks to the heavens as she goes off. 11 runs, 59 now on the board.
Abigail Freeborn.
Delighted to say I have managed to persuade Victoria Poley to join me. I will now hand over headphones from BBC Essex. So thank you very much indeed. I will turn on your microphone.
Thank you very much.
It's been an entertaining start.
It has. It's been really nice from the Sunrisers, and I was thinking, watching on, Amy Jones was really going to be the key wicket, but if you keep taking the wickets of whoever's out there with her, then that's good enough, isn't it?
It seems to be working quite well, that system at the moment for the Sunrisers. And good fight back. This Maddie Villiers, slightly expensive in the first over, but she bowled really nicely in this, her second. And the 9th in the innings. And that draws a shot she'll be pleased to see as a spinner. From Abigail Freeborn. Villiers again. Freeborn happy to play the defensive shot, and what a good over that was from Maddie Villiers.
Yeah, really nice from Maddie Villiers. Nice to see her bowling well as well. No, it's been a frustrating time for her, but it's a ground she knows well. It's a ground she likes to play at, so nice to see her bowling well. I think the disappointing thing for Sunrisers will be, before even getting on the pitch tonight, the fact that Dana Van Nieuwkerk's not very well. So it was all geared up for her T20 debut.
I thought maybe they were resting her during the fielding.
Well, I imagine it's been quite a tiring journey to get over here and ready to play. So not well enough to be a part of the Sunrisers side tonight, but they're doing all right anyway.
They certainly are, and it's Grace Scrivens who's back into the attack. Took a wicket in her first over, a big wicket too, and she removed Eve Jones, who was looking very dangerous at the time. Can she do the same with the equally dangerous Amy Jones? It's a bit short, and Amy Jones absolutely lasers that to the balcony, to the boundary. But Flo Miller is there, as she has been so often so far in this innings.
It'll be really interesting to see how the Sunrisers get on in this T20 competition, this Charlotte Edwards Cup this season, because their struggles are well known, but they have got really, really good short format players amongst their ranks, so it just all needs to blend together for them.
In again, nicely played around the corner. In the end, it was a decent stop by Lizzie McLeod. Keeps them down to a couple. It was very nicely played indeed. Indeed, sometimes it's just learning to win, isn't it? And that's why it was such a good start to the Rachel Hayhoe-Flint season, with that big victory, and suddenly looked more confident. Grace Scrivens in again, and that's short, and paddled around the corner. It'll only be a single. Jo Gardner is out on the boundary.
Yeah, it's just the mindset, isn't it? And if anyone's going to be in confident mood in this competition, it will be Grace Scrivens.
Yes. Remarkable couple of years she's had, Grace Scrivens. I was going through the notes from the Central Sparks, and they said player to watch on the opposition, and there was about a page and a half on Grace Scrivens. So she's in once again, right arm round the wicket. That's a full toss, and he's flung away into the leg side. But again, the fielder is out there. Again, the fielder is Flo Miller, and again it's just a single.
Very grounded though, considering how highly rated she is, what a good winter she had with the England under-19s. I spoke to her on BBC Essex a couple of weeks ago, and she's just firmly focused on doing her job for the Sunrisers.
Yes, you feel it's just a matter of time before perhaps she is called up to the full England squad, as that is played around the corner for another single and a steady over. A little bit on the short side, but bowling to a field. 64 for 4 now, and we are halfway through the innings. Freeborn 4 not out. Amy Jones 26 from 21. She's played really nicely. Scrivens 1 for 11 off her 2. Maddie Villiers, after just conceding a single on her last over, 1 for 10 from her 2.
Change of bowling.
Change of bowling at the Hayes close end, Joe Gardner.
Interesting, because Maddie Villiers had bowled really taken 1 for 1 in her last over, but every change has worked so far. So Joe Gardner in once again, and that is played out into the onside. There's no fielder there. Joe Gardner has to do the fielding off her own bowler. I think it surprised the batter, who was looking around and suddenly realised there wasn't a fielder there and they could take a very easy single.
Just wonder whether we might see Maddie Villiers from the River End at some point.
Local knowledge. And that is played away onto the leg side, and there's a misfield. The first by Flo Miller came to her really quickly, and there wasn't much margin for error. She was on the boundary, and I think she's looking in the sun as well.
Yeah, she just got a hand to it, didn't she, and wasn't able to stop it as it came to her very, very quickly, and she's shielding her eyes as well, so not an easy place to be outfielding.
Amy Jones again, stand and deliver, this time straight up to mid-off, and there is no run. Yeah, Jo Gardner really is the sort of backbone of this team, isn't she? Made a debut in the first ever Sunrisers match, I think.
Yeah, she's been there from the very beginning.
And that's into the air. That should be out, but no, it's just over. The despairing Kate Kopak. She didn't quite get herself in the right spot, Kate, on that occasion.
No, she just came a bit too far, didn't she? And it looped over her head as she started to make the dive. It would have been perfect timing for a Jo Gardner wicket.
Well bowled, and that's heaved around the corner. There'll only be a single. Should only be a single. There is only a single. Lovely fielding in the deep from Eva Gray. And Abtahar Maqsood is now warming up, so we could be seeing her soon. Again, down on the front knee, paddled away on the sweep to backwards square. They take another single. After 11 overs, the score is 73 for 4, and they were bowling along at 8 an over, so they have pegged it back a little, the Sunrisers.
And they'll look to do that further with Maqsood coming on to bowl.
Yes, who has had a very good Rachel Hayhoe Flint Trophy so far. Of course, there are more games to come. I think she's taken 9 wickets so far this summer. That's an average of 10.
Pretty good going.
Yeah, she's I think she's the third highest wicket taker so far in that particular competition. She'd like to get going in this one as well. In the end, that's nicely played. The sweep shot is obviously a favourite of Abigail Freeborn. She's used it liberally to all the spinners so far.
Yeah, she's just working out how to play them, but Sunrisers won't want them to get too comfortable, this pairing.
And it is always a decent tactic against the spinners if you can play the sweep shot. Oof. And that wasn't where Amy Jones meant the ball to go. She's going to get runs for it. 3 of them. It's a fine save. In fact, they decide 2 will do.
She didn't look comfortable at all playing that shot. Not where she wanted it, but thanks to that fine bit of fielding, she won't get the boundary for it.
No, did well to keep them down to 2. It was a big, thick edge that was racing away to the boundary. Maqsood just tweaking her field on the offside. Amy Jones gets set again. But in the end turns out to be a full toss. And Amy Jones is onto it very, very quickly indeed. Plays it very pleasingly through the covers for 4 more. And she moves on to 39 from 27. And again is proving the irritant as far as the Sunrisers are concerned.
Yeah, she's picked up where she finished this competition last season. Nice bit of footwork there from her just to adjust and get that shot away through the covers.
Maxud again, that is played on the up and over the ring on the offside and goes for another 4. Slightly on the risky side. But it does seem as if Amy Jones has decided, after seeing that first ball that beat her all ends up effectively, she's managed to get an edge on it, that attack is the best form of defence.
Yeah, working that field on the offside. Just spotted a really, really tiny bird on the pitch in front of us. I hope that gets the message that there is a cricket ball flying around and need to get out of the way.
Is it the white-chested one?
Yes.
Yes, I think it's sparrow, I think.
Yeah.
Could be wrong.
I can't confess to knowing too much about birds, but it's gone now.
And that is short, and it's punched away again. Just been knocked off a length a little at the moment. Maxud, and they go through for 2 more. And this over turning out to be rather an expensive one as far as the Sunrisers are concerned. The score is up to 87, sorry, for 4. Oh, and that's just lifted up. Oh, and it falls safe. Beaten in the flight, I think, on that occasion, and it was almost catching practice from Amy Jones, but it fell agonisingly between the bowler and mid-on, and she survives.
Yeah, Grace Scrivens